Hello, everybody. My name's River Alexandra Song, and we are the Women of Who. Women and the Doctor becoming a woman. Since the first producer, Verity Lambert, Doctor Who has dealt with women throughout its 57-year history. Today, we're going to look at that relationship with 5 female characters that shook up the show, maybe in a small way, and maybe in a bigger one. I'm River Alexandra Song, and joining me today is the lovely Lady V, better known as Missy, Christina Silvoso as the brilliant Donna Noble, Myriam Lopez as Martha Jones, and Julia O'Malley as the 13th Doctor. So ladies, how do you think your character has affected the fandom? Let's start with Missy.
Well, I mean, can anyone really get enough of me? I'm the master. It's all in my name. But if you want the finer details, I'm happy to give them to you because I love talking about myself.
Oh, please do. So, expand.
Oh, yes. So, as you know, prior to my entrance, there were other versions of me. I apologize now for them, but then I came on board and the world was a little bit more fun. I believe that no one expected a female master. Well, sorry, time lady, mistress, I'm old-fashioned. But I definitely mixed things up when I came on board, and I don't think I ever stopped. And I'd like to think I kind of paved the way for the Doctor's current incarnation. But that's just me.
And while we're there, I noticed that the Doctor's current incarnation is fighting with a male version of you. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm always fighting with the male versions of me inside because I keep hearing them, you know, they're in there. They talk to me and I dream about them when I sleep, which I don't sleep. So, but they're there and they're always there. And the TARDIS tells me about them all the time. So having me fighting with myself, that's a normal day.
Martha Jones, how do you think your appearance here actually changed the show?
It has definitely struck a chord on more than one level, because Martha Jones, you know, in her first appearance and my first appearance as with the Doctor, it was Smith and Jones. So we were already like very singularly thread to be reckoned with. So it's defined some of the tone that we have currently in today's day and age, and not getting political at all, but it is a chord to be struck because she's a minority that's taken on a lead role in this fandom aside, and has grounded the Doctor. So I think having that be something that Martha undertakes is definitely worthwhile.
Donna Noble, fastest temp in Chiswick.
I'll save the best for last, eh?
Oh, you betcha.
I feel like Donna changed the fandom a bit because the other companions were a bit, you know, young and pretty and lovely and fawning all over the Doctor. And then finally you got to someone like Donna who could give it back as good as he was giving it to her. They were best friends. I was supposed to live in the TARDIS forever. And, you know, it was nice to see someone a bit older, a bit feistier, instead of having the Doctor be in the lead, to have somebody who was able to kind of steer his ear a bit and say like, well, you need to stop, or you need to help these people, instead of just, you know, them being in love with him.
I think that's brilliant, actually.
Brilliant.
I mean, I know that people weren't really fond of River because, well, I know his name. Or your name. Yes, of course, 13. So, now fans aside, what do you think your effect has been on the doctor's character? And let's go with Martha Jones. How did you change the doctor?
The approach that I took as Martha Jones was to ground him and have him see humanity for what it is. That there are things that he cannot change, even if he really, really wants to. So the fact that he had just lost Rose, he was looking for Rose, and I came at the heels. I was like his rebound. And so,
yes, that's the word.
and so, as striking as that is, being the rebound, you know, the doctor kind of has to take a step back and really appreciate the time that he had with Rose and where he wanted to go with that and what was the thing that would matter to him in the future. And Martha had a very difficult relationship with her family, you know, and so having the doctor be part of that and seeing the intricate relationship that she had with her family, but still had a relationship with her family, even toward the end of season 3, in the Last of the Time Lords, you really see that dynamic where she really cares for him and she really appreciates all of the things that he's done with her and for her, but still seeing that she's there to support him and can't be what she wants to be and for him, right? So
do you think the doctor Martha Jones is responsible for saving the doctor?
I think so, because without Martha being there to kind of guide him and basically carry the torch for him, because she goes around the world whispering his name and having that singularity with everyone in the world, trying to just make sure that everyone knows, you know, this one thing, which is the doctor. She saves him from not existing and disappearing from existence when the master, you know, has captured him and basically is trying to do away with him and the idea of him.
And speaking of the master, Missy, you're his best friend enemy. How do you think you've impacted the doctor?
Well, it's quite clear that all the other accessories that he carried around were trying to make him more, excuse me, human. But I realized that, and I gave him my own accessory, although she ended up being annoying too.
Would that be Clara Oswald?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Clara. But we won't talk about her. Let's talk about me. So when that failed, I clearly had to take matters in my own hands. And whereas everyone, as I said, was trying to make him more human.
Oi.
Oh,
Okay, I did like Red. She had some attitude. I'll give her that. But I really wanted to get him back to his roots. He is a Time Lord after all. Where's the panache? Where's the wickedness? It had been flushed out of him by all of his accessories. So I came along and actually had to make him work. I made him realize that he's better facing the fact that he's a Time Lord and the fact that he has, well, a little bit of wicked in him.
Do you think he found a little bit of good in you?
Good? You think I'm good? I'm not good. But and the best. So,
Donna, how do you think you impacted the doctor? I mean, I know he kind of wiped your memory at the end there, but
He did what now?
yes, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Listen, I don't want to brag, but he would have been dead without me. I think we all know. I mean, it's not as if, like, we all saw in Turn Left, I turned left, and then the doctor died, like, immediately. I think we all know that without me, he's nothing. So we don't even need to think about what happened after me because he's probably dead.
Well, that's pretty simple. Doctor.
Also, I also made him a bit more human, as we said, and because I am a human. I mean, he was going to leave all the people in Pompeii behind, every single one. But I asked him to save at least one family, and he did, and I think that made him better for it.
I can't say I disagree, Doctor. So, going down the line, how do you think each of these characters affected you? Back when you were a man.
I think everyone I touch affects me in some way. The one thing I have to comment at right about now is that I didn't realize that all of my companions had such high opinions of themselves, but
well, listen, if we're going to say that, listen, you didn't touch me. Let's just make sure we knew there was no touching. No touching.
Not physical touching. I'm talking touching in the hearts. You touched my hearts. All of you touched my hearts. And I feel that when I was regenerated into all of this, a lot of the baggage that I had from previous iterations just kind of flew out the window, and I kind of got to a chance to start completely over, because none of you would ever recognize me as the doctor in this. I could walk right by you in the middle of a crowded street and you wouldn't know who I was, and that's the best part.
Oh, please, I didn't recognize you when you got old and gray.
Hey, I liked me old and gray.
Hello.
Yeah, but I can smell you from a mile away.
Well, old and...
Sorry.
All right, then. So, Doctor, now that you've re-met your characters, what do you have to say about that? All of the other characters that have worked with you.
I wish I had the opportunity to listen to you more deeply. I wish that you had the opportunity to speak to me more deeply, because I feel like a lot of the things that you learned disappeared, and I can't find them now. And that really bothers me, because I know there's things that I know, but I don't remember. So if there was anything I could say to all of my previous doctor iterations, is speak louder, because I can't hear you.
Interesting.
I feel the same, because you forgot. I forgot.
I have forgotten everything, and I want it back.
Yes, left like a book on a shelf. Missy, what makes your character so special in the universe, and what holes would be left, or what might the doctor have done should your character cease to exist? Or in the case of the doctor, your regeneration was different somehow. And we'll start with Missy.
Well, I was the first Time Lady. I was the first female incarnation of the Master. So right there, I mean, that's a huge change. For the better, I may add. And I think if, I hadn't come along, I think the doctor would continue to be boring.
Donna, what if you'd never met the doctor? What kind of hole would there be in the universe? I mean, we know he's going to die if he doesn't meet you, but tell me more.
I feel like he would continue thinking everyone was in love with him and just would do whatever he said. And just, oh, I'm the Time Lord victorious, look at me, you know, like he needed someone to bring him a bit down to earth. And I feel like now he's more like that. Like the 13th Doctor is a bit more grounded. And, you know, the 12th Doctor as well, very grounded. So I feel like maybe she took him down a couple pegs.
Martha Jones, if you'd never shown up, what would be left, or what might the Doctor have done if you'd ceased to exist?
I think the Doctor would have been very depressed and, I don't know, beside himself, you know, in despair. Because when I found him, or he found me, he was very lonely, you know. The fact that we spent so much time together and went back to 1913, where he was able to see that he could maybe make a family as a human.
And did you approve of that?
It was very hard. And I know that I had a very difficult time trying to cope with that. But I also knew that my role for him was not one to, it was very made evidently clear to me, not by enlightenment, but just simple actions of, you know, how I would have to be in order to have him not perish. So I think if I had not been there for him, he would have been lost, you know, not just, you know, in the true sense of who he was in persona and character and what he deemed important, but also how he relates to everyone else. He would have been a human without, you know, the courage to stand up for something that he saw as wrong, and he would have just wanted to fade away and not be noticed at all by anything.
So, Doctor, did these people give you a soul? And what would have happened had you regenerated into, oh, another man?
I believe that every companion leaves a part of them inside me when we part company. Every companion I have leaves a part of themselves behind and teaches me something new that I can carry with me every time. Now, had I regenerated into something other than this, had I been another man, I think I'd still be carrying that with me. I may treat it differently because I have found, now being both, that men treat their companions with a little more kid glove, and I treat my companions with a little more, hey, come on, we're all in this together, and I'm not trying to protect any of them in particular anyway, unless I absolutely have to. But I believe that every single one of my companions, and Missy, and the Master, and River, and everyone that I've ever been with, has always left a little bit of themselves behind. And that's what I carry with me forward. And hopefully I will be able to give that to my next regeneration so that they can continue carrying the torch.
Well, this has been really interesting. Lastly, we all know that the Doctor and Doctor Who thrives on change. When that happens, we get another female doctor, or do we get another female doctor? Or are we asking for a female showrunner, or both? And let's start with Donna.
Oh my God, let's have a female showrunner. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Who would you like if you could pick someone?
Oh my God. I don't know. You'll have to circle back.
All right, I will. Martha?
I think
Another female doctor? Or a female showrunner? Or do you want both?
I want both. I can't think of a female showrunner.
Yeah,
that has shown a skill set that is at the level of Moffat, because I think he's the greatest showrunner from Doctor Who and other shows, but I can't think of one singular one, so I can't name one. But I know that if we had both, that would probably put a spin to the level of having it be a better show. I'm not particularly happy by our current showrunner, and so I think that's hurt the role of the Doctor.
I'm going to ask one other question here then. Do you think that having a male showrunner is a bad idea if the Doctor is a woman? Because while Missy is an exception, thank you, Stephen Moffat, and me kind of, I'm wondering if that it's hard for a man to write to a woman's strength.
I think that it is very hard for a man to write to the woman's strength, although it has been done.
Mm-hmm. Well, Missy.
We saw it in Missy. We saw it in the role that Donna had and the role that Martha had. You know, they had strong personalities. They didn't always agree with the Doctor. They didn't always go along for the ride just to go along for the ride. Yes, they wanted to experience, it was an opportunity of a lifetime for them. But being part of being able to make a change in history because there was something going on that was wrong was, I think, something that drew in particular to Martha and to Donna, because she, you know, didn't want to leave, right, Donna? Like, you never wanted to leave the Doctor's side. I mean, you were searching for him for a long time.
Missy.
Go ahead.
Let's go to Missy. Missy, I understand you're rather close with Verity Lambert as well. And what do you think? Female showrunner or female Doctor or both coming in the next seasons?
I would say both. And yes, Verity was my favorite. But I think the problem is that, as we've seen by my future self and my past self, men can be idiots. They can't commit. They get a big idea and then they have no idea how to carry it through, with the exceptions.
I mean, Russell T Davies did a great job.
Yes.
Stephen Moffat did a great job. You know who has a really unique female voice, and I did have to kind of think through British showrunners, but the woman in Fleabag, who
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
She's involved in Killing Eve right now, so obviously she's busy, but she has a very unique female voice. I think she understands complex characters and not just making them two-dimensional love interests or making them, you know, the rough and tumble best friend, or, you know what I mean? Like, I really feel like if we did have a female showrunner, or at least more female writers, we would get nuanced ideas of a female Doctor that I feel like we're maybe missing right now.
You need people who can, male or female, who can think in broader spectrums.
Maybe inside the box because it's bigger on the inside.
Yes, and that's why the previous writers were so good, because they, even though they were male, they could write female characters. And when the best female writers are ones that can write for females and males. So it's really a mindset more than it is a gender issue.
Would we like to have Julie Gardner back?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. If she's
Absolutely.
listening, you know.
If she's listening, I have to watch this. What the hell is it? Julie, we want you to come back.
We really do.
So,
what
lady,
about the woman? What
Yes.
about the woman that wrote the Jessica Jones Marvel stories? It was a female showrunner. Melissa, I think Rosenberg. And
maybe let me look it up.
come on, fastest temp in Chiswick.
I don't know. I mean, it was a strong because Jessica Jones is a strong character.
A very strong character.
And and it was dynamic.
Yeah,
and
Melissa
I don't know.
Rosenberg.
Yeah, Melissa Rosenberg, right? So someone like that can create a character that's multifaceted, because that's the Doctor essentially.
I know we're talking female showrunners, but I mean, he's so wonderful. Could we have maybe Neil Gaiman back just to, like, I feel like Idris is one of my favorite characters.
Yes,
as well.
I mean, yes, we love Neil Gaiman. After he finishes American Gods, the continuation,
then we can come.
and the Sandman, the Netflix version,
Exactly.
and I think he's got a couple of other things, maybe. But I would love to have.
He wants to come back,
and I would love to have him be the showrunner. That would be ideal.
Because he has the imagination that Stephen Moffat had. I feel like that's what I admired him most about him.
From my point of view, I don't really care if it's a female or a male. I want somebody that loves the show and is just not, hi, I'm a writer and I write from 9 to 5 and here's your script and goodbye.
Exactly.
Which, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but.
It takes all the rules and all of the canon and everything else and just tosses it out the window.
And says, oh, what is that? I don't need that.
Or he doesn't understand it.
I mean, this show is so bonkers that you can just turn everything on its head on the, you know, just like that. And that's what I kind of respect about it, that it's not set. Like, yeah, it's canon, but you know what we're going to do with that canon? We're just going to and change it.
I just want to go back to, you know, previous human history where they used to hang people from the yardarm. I think it's back in this case.
That would not be a bad suggestion.
Never do harm. Always be kind.
Always be kind. You're the woman that said to somebody, I don't want to hear your life story. Would you defend that?
I did not say that. I was told to say that.
All right.
I would never say that.
Ladies, I don't know how long we've gone on because I have no little clock.
Wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. I am going to suggest you say something
nice.
Say something nice to the audience, and let them know that if they send you a tweet or an email or something, that you'll at least say hello, because I'm sure we will have people responding to this.
I hope so.
One way or another. For me and the ladies, for me, River Alexandra Song, I'm going to say I'm glad you let us do this panel, and I hope it was fun for you. And now let's go with, same order, Missy.
I want to thank you guys for letting me talk about me. And if you'd like to contact my alter ego, you know, because I sometimes have to muddle with the humans, you can contact me at Lovely Lady V on Instagram. And it's been an absolute pleasure talking with all of you, and again, talking about me.
Donna?
I'm Christina's Crafty on all of the internet. So if you ever want to say hi or say something nice and not so nice, you know, whatever, that's where you can find me, Christina's Crafty. And I love you.
Martha Jones.
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Myriam LP, or on Instagram as mlow6451. And if you click on River Alexandra Song, I'm her friend, so you can also reach me through there.
Doctor, and then I'll plug my 4 million links.
I just hope all of you had as much fun watching this as we did making it for you. And if you'd like to reach out to me on my Instagram, it is TTUNLTD. That is TTUNLTD, which stands for Time Travelers Unlimited. And reach out. I'll poke you back. Ask me a question. Doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm stuck here in California. for
Why?
the COVID. Well, okay, it's really embarrassing. I came to California. I was going to be really, really sneaky about it. I was going to come to California. I was going to sneak myself an In-N-Out burger because I really, really was craving one. And then
Those are
COVID happened.
nice.
And then I got stuck, and now I'm stuck, and the TARDIS won't let me back in because I may or may not be infected, and the virus may or may not be alien. So I can't really take it out into the stratosphere, because if I infected another planet, I would hate myself. So I'm stuck. I'm in a tent outside of Los Angeles in the forest, away from the fires, for as long as it takes.
We'll send Dr. Martha Jones to check on you.
And In-N-Out Burger, they closed.
Sorry about that.
Vortex
Oh,
manipulate,
wow.
but don't tell anybody because I'm not supposed to have it. Shh.
Oh, all right. We won't tell. As I said before, I'm River Alexandra Song. You can find me on Facebook as River Alexandra Song Cosplayer. You can find me on Instagram as River Alexandra Song. You can find me on Twitter as River Alex Song, because Alexandra's too long. And I think that's it. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I think that's it. And if you really want, you can send me an email. Do not flood my inbox at drriverasong@gmail.com. Thank you. We were happy, more than happy to be here.